Salut tout le monde, vous regardez Standard le Talk, votre émission 100% Standard de Liège, chaque semaine sur vous sport et divertissez-vous. D'ailleurs, n'hésitez pas à nous laisser des commentaires rsl@letalk.be parce qu'à chaque émission, on vous propose de grandes interviews des joueurs du noyau pro. Et d'ailleurs, cette semaine, c'est Isaac Price qui s'est prêté au jeu. Le Nord-Irlandais nous parle de ses débuts dans le football et surtout de son arrivée au Standard de Liège. Isaac Price est notre rouge du soir.
Hi, I'm Isaac Price, 21 years old, player of Standard de Liège, centre midfielder. Played football since I was about 5-6 years old. I loved it ever since. Originally from Leeds and then moved into near Manchester when I was 12 for school and football and then moved here. I suppose it's something for the team where we can all be together, communicate to each other. Sometimes where it's just the players and not the staff, so we have a bit of unity there. But it's a lot of togetherness, so it's all the players in one room and yeah, we're together in there. Yeah, I think it's definitely a key part of it. You speak about a lot of things that happen on the pitch, in the locker room. You get to know each other a bit more whenever you're not playing football, and it helps whenever you go out on the pitch and play together. So yeah, it helps with the unity of the team. Yeah, I think probably when I was about 5. I have a big brother who's 3 years older, so he's always played football as well. My dad just took me to the games that he played, and I just on the touchline just kicking a ball about, and then ever since then I fell in love with the game and I've not stopped since. I think my family my dad especially, he played when he was younger, so then my big brother automatically got into it, and then it was just passed down the line, and then I carried on playing, and yeah, that's been the story. I've only recently been playing for Nord-Irlandais, so I started when I was 17 and then ever since then, but it's great playing over there, especially since I've been in the first team with the fans, and the passion for football over there is massive as well. It's similar to here. I think there's not many places like here with the passion for the football, but that's close to it over there, and yeah, they love football as well. I think I picked it up pretty naturally. I think I probably got passed down from my dad. He was good, so I think I naturally was a little bit good at football, but since I started playing, I just never stopped in the garden with my friends at school and stuff. Yeah, and ever since then, I just been playing every day and got better and better, and it's led me here today. When I was younger, I probably preferred to get the assist and to set people up. I was a bit of an unselfish player, but as you get older and you start playing in front of fans, you want to score goals, and that's what makes them happy. So I think you get the biggest thrill out of scoring. Yeah, it's a tough one because I'm an Everton fan, but my idol is probably Steven Gerrard. Just from when I was growing up, he was probably in his prime of his career, and I love watching him play, and even now I still watch highlights of when he played. But the likes of Frank Lampard, Paul Scholes, they're all players that I've looked up to. I think I naturally become a midfielder from watching teams, and I feel like you have the most control in the game midfield. You can do a bit of attacking and defending, so yeah, I love that. I'm a sporty person, so I like a lot of sports, but football always had my heart really. It was the only thing I wanted to really take seriously, but I love golf as well. Recently I've got into golf back in England. Before I come over here, I played golf quite a lot, so yeah, it's a good hobby. Yeah, I'm getting better. I'm getting a lot better. The more I play, the better I'm getting, but the weather's bad now, so I can't play. I was at Everton since I was 7 years old, and then I just played through the academy, all the age groups, and then probably when I got to about 14, 15 was when I started really pushing on, and I was playing 1 year above, then 2 years above, and once I got to the under-18s, I started training with the first team. So I got exposed to that quite early. I feel like it developed me a lot, and because I weren't the biggest, I was quite a small player, so I had to learn the other side of the game, be cleverer than players. So yeah, it was good, and then ever since scholars, I've been in and around the first team, and then I played a lot of under-21 games, but I never quite got regular into the first team, so that's why I ended up with the move here, and I've loved it. Yeah, it definitely weren't easy because we had a lot of good players, like you say, and I feel like my generation of players, there's still some top players that are playing in top teams, so the competition was high, and even the under-21 team, we had a very good team, so just to get into that team was hard, but then trying to push onto a first team where you're playing against or playing with some of the best players in the league, it's very hard, but you want to get better from it as well, so it was a good experience. Yeah, definitely. I think it was a dream for me to play for Everton as well, because I've supported them since I was young, so when I made my debut there, it was like a dream come true for me. But yeah, to be a professional footballer is all I've ever wanted to be, so yeah, it's good. Yeah, definitely, it's a big sacrifice for everybody. I feel like every player would tell you that they've sacrificed a lot to get where they are now, but I think a lot of sacrifice went to my family as well. They sacrificed a lot. They moved from Leeds to moving near Manchester with me, so I went on my own. I have two brothers and they both moved as well, so it was a massive sacrifice for them. So I feel like I kind of owed it to them to give football everything I had so it paid out really. Yeah, Leeds to Manchester wasn't that hard because it's not that far. It's maybe an hour in the car, hour and a half. But I lived with my family for my whole life until I come here, and moving here was a little bit different language, living on my own, having to do stuff on my own. So it was a bit different, but I've got friends here as well now that I hang about with outside of football, so it's good. Probably feel like I'm a box-to-box midfielder, number 8. I think I'm pretty athletic. I can get up and down the pitch, and I like to do both aspects of the game. I love to score goals and win games, but I like to defend as well and get back and help the team out. So I try and do a little bit of both, and that's probably where my idol Gerrard comes into it, because he probably had everything. So yeah, I've probably always been. Ever since I was young, I've been pretty athletic, pretty fit. So it's kind of just forced me into a position of a midfielder where you have to run the whole game. Since then, I've not looked back. I feel like pressure's probably not the biggest thing for me, because I've never really put too much pressure on myself. Maybe my dad's quite into it with me. He puts a little bit of pressure on. I did when I was younger to try and like push me a lot, which was good. It's helped me now to this day, so that's good. But I feel like every time I go on the football pitch, you just got to enjoy it and play with freedom, because that's the best way you'll play. Yeah, not really. I probably weren't at the stage where the media was like on me a lot, but there are a lot of players in England that maybe get pushed a little bit too early, and then they get put in the spotlight, and it does their confidence no good really, because or maybe they get too overconfident and think they're the best already, and it doesn't really help them. But for me, I weren't really in the spotlight too much in England, so I could focus on just playing football and enjoying myself rather than the other side of it. Some of them are out on loan. Most of my friends from Everton are still at Everton, but they play in under-21s. There's quite a lot that have gone out on loan to League One and League Two, which I had the option to do, but I felt like for me it probably weren't the best path to go down, and coming here I thought I'd develop a lot more, and I feel like I have already. Probably both, scoring for Northern Ireland and scoring the winner against Club Brugge here, because I feel like the atmosphere, just whenever you score, especially here when I scored the winner, and the place just went mental, and the feeling you can't really describe. It's just like a buzz that goes through you, and then the game starts again, so you have to concentrate again, but after the game you can celebrate, and yeah, it was good. But again, scoring an international goal, well, I scored 2 now, but the Denmark one was probably my favourite goal, because we went 1-0 up, so the crowd went ballistic there as well, so yeah, probably them 2. Yeah, definitely. My first Premier League debut was Arsenal away, and it was a bit surreal. I'd been on the bench quite a lot, but I'd never actually got the chance to play, and when I knew that I was coming on, I got 20-25 minutes, so it was a surreal moment, and yeah, it was one I remember. I think the most difficult thing for me throughout playing football has probably been my physicality. I've never been the biggest player. When I was younger, I used to be really small and kind of behind players physically, so it was tough to compete in that aspect of the game. But as I said, like, it probably made me better in the other side of the game, so I had to be quicker and like mentally better than other players. But still to this day, physicality, I've still got to get a lot better, just working in the gym and stuff with the S&C coaches to build power, so then I can compete at the top level. Definitely, the youth's all football and nice tiki-taka stuff, and as soon as you go to the first team, it's similar. They still try and play football, but that side of the game is physical, and people are on top of you all the time. You don't get a lot of time on the ball. So yeah, the physicality of the Premier League, and here there's a lot of teams here that are big teams, and they make it hard for you to play. They get right on top of you, so yeah, it's tough. I don't know how you describe it. It was a moment that I'll never forget, but it's 1 second you're thinking, oh, I'm coming on, and then you actually get on the pitch and it's a different feeling. You got to concentrate, you want to try and impress, you want to make sure that you try and stay in and around the first team, and you can get more minutes. But as soon as the game finishes, it's like just memories from all childhood really, where you started and where you've got to now. And I feel like a big part for me was my family as well, because of how much they'd sacrificed, so it's kind of a big thing for them. And luckily on the day I made my debut, my mum and dad were both in the stand as well, so that was good to have them there. My debut, I played against Martin Odegaard, and he was very good. He gave me a really tough 25 minutes on my debut. Yeah, I admire that player. He's a top player. He makes football look so easily. But then I played against Alexis McAllister as well for Brighton, and he was really good. And he'd just come back from winning the World Cup, and it's probably, well, it is the biggest trophy in the world. So to play against a player that had just come back and won the World Cup, and then he stood right in front of me, I was playing against him. It was a surreal moment. A little bit when you get onto a pitch and you're into the game, you don't hear as much because you're concentrating so much on the game, but the crowd in England are tough, and especially at Everton when things aren't going well and the team isn't doing well, the crowd are really harsh, and sometimes it's difficult to play under with booing and whistling, but that's just their passion for the game. They want to see the team do well, and they love the club, and they don't want to see the club do bad, so they're just trying to be passionate. It was a little bit difficult at the start just because I had to move over, and then I was living in a hotel for a week. I had to find my apartment, get a car, get like all my stuff sorted. But the club had been excellent with it, and it made it easier that I was moving over with people like Romain and Aidan, people who were in a similar situation to me. So we kind of created a little close group together where we spoke to each other quite a lot. But the club's been great with it. I found my apartment within a week, and I got a car, and now I'm all settled in. It feels like home to me. I didn't think I would enjoy living on my own, but I actually don't mind the space and just being able to pretty much do what I want. Just the language. I'm still trying to learn a little bit of French, but it's tough, but I'll carry on. I'll try and learn it. Je m'appelle Isaac. Mon anniversaire, c'est le 26 septembre. I've not got much. I can count a little bit, but not much. I just need to learn little keywords for, like, especially in the supermarket. It's so hard to, like, the signs on above are all in different language, so I end up just walking up and down every aisle to find stuff. But no, it's good. I feel like it's difficult as well. But I was at Everton with all my friends since I was 9-10 years old, and we was a close bunch of friends. And then I kind of had to leave that and come here and be alone for the most part of it. Obviously, it's not that far from home. It's a 1-hour flight, so it is easy enough to get home. But I was going to football and then going out with my friends and doing different activities, to now I come here, football, home, rest, and then the same the next day. But it'll help me develop as well, so it's a good part of the game. I haven't actually been into Liège too much. I go to Media City a little bit for some shopping and stuff, but I live just outside of Liège, so most time I just stay there. Sometimes I go to Maastricht, which isn't far. It's a nice city in Holland, so I don't really go into Liège too much, but I went to the Christmas markets as well, and they was really nice. I was going to try ice skating, but I didn't want to get injured. No, I've been a few times when I was younger for Everton. We've played a few tournaments in Belgium, but I didn't know it too well. I think, well, my mum and dad told me that when I was younger, I've actually been to Standard de Liège training ground. We had a tournament here, but I don't really remember it. So yeah, I'll be looking to travel around Belgium and see the different cultures and the different cities. Yeah, definitely. I feel like Standard de Liège is a massive club. If you know football or you're into football, you know who Standard de Liège are, because they're just a big team, and they've played Europe. They've played a lot of competition. I've had some good players come through. So, and then as soon as I come over and I watch the game and I just seen the fans, and I kind of fell in love. Yeah, definitely. For the main reason was to get playing time at a first team. I didn't feel like I was getting that at Everton, and sometimes I was getting frustrated when I was training well and I weren't getting picked on the weekend, or I weren't getting any minutes. And obviously the club's in a bit of a bad situation at the moment with things that are going on in the club. And at the time I left, they'd just changed manager as well, so it was a difficult period where they was trying to stay up, and so they was playing certain players, which was fair enough. But for me, the best thing to do was probably leave and come here, and it's been great since I've got here. Yeah, definitely the senior players probably got the pick because they were senior players. They'd been experienced in playing in the league for so long, and the situation that the club was in relegation for 2 years, and they're still kind of there now, so I didn't expect too much, but I felt like I was at the point where I needed to go and play first team football regularly to develop my career. I didn't want to stay there and not get any game time and maybe play in the youth team, the under-21s, and it wouldn't have really done much for me, so coming here has been the best thing for me. I'd probably say he's a passionate player. He wants to win every game, score goals, get assists, defend, attack, do the lot, and kind of build a connection with the fans as well. I was once the fan that was going to every game and wanting to see my team do well, and when you see the young fans here, you try and inspire them. You want them to look up to you, and it's great to see when you win games and they love you and stuff. So yeah, it's probably that. They're quite similar clubs as in Everton and Liège in if you compare Everton and Liège, both the fans, they're both really passionate fans. The clubs are both well-run clubs. Here I've had more of an experience in the first team, so it's been better. I've been in and around the first team the entire time, and I've built friendships and stuff with the players, whereas when I was at Everton I was up and down a lot, so I couldn't really fit in properly. But yeah, I think both clubs are massive clubs and they're both passionate clubs, and I hope we both do well. Well, yeah, I call my family most days. My mum or my dad, they call me quite a lot, and they come over to try and watch a few games as well, which is good. When they come over, they feel like it's a little bit of a holiday for them. So yeah, it's good, but I speak to them every day. I speak to my friends every day and stuff. Obviously, I play Xbox, so I keep in contact with all my friends. But yeah, my family, I call them nearly every day. I have different relationships with both. My dad is always football. He just constantly wants to talk about like Liège and how it's going and what I can do better and what he wants to see more of. And then I go to my mum and it's more like life sort of skills and how it's going on the other side of it, how living on my own is and stuff like that. So I use them for different things. Yeah, they watch every game on TV, so I don't know what TV thing they watch on, but they manage to watch every game, and quite a lot of my friends have the link to watch the game as well, so it's nice whenever I finish the game and they can say, or when I scored the goal and everybody's texting me saying well done and stuff, so yeah, it's nice. Really good. The standard's really high, and if you look from the top of the table to the bottom of the table, there's not much difference, especially with the quality of the teams and the players. The different teams give you different challenges. The teams at the bottom of the league are more aggressive. They don't let you attack as much. They stay tight, compact. It's hard to get past them. And then there's obviously teams at the top, the likes of Antwerp, Anderlecht, Club Brugge. They're all really good top teams that play football, and we're trying to compete with them sort of teams and get to the top. It's probably more physical here than it is in the Premier League. There's some very big boys, there's some very big teams that are difficult to compete with. England, there's a lot more technical, good teams that play nice football, and here there's a mixture of both. There's teams that will make it horrible for you when you play, and there's teams that want to play with the ball and control the game. I think it was pretty easy. It helped that Fergal was here. Obviously, he was the main one that brought me in. So to have a good relationship with him was probably the main thing. Someone that helped me settle in quite well. And then obviously Noah was already here for a year. Marlon, they're all English players that have come here. So they told me a lot, especially Noah. I spoke to him a lot before I come here to ask about what it's like, what the city's like, what the football's like. And he sold it to me pretty well, to be fair. But yeah, I thought it's been pretty easy. It's helped that I've had players around me that are in a similar situation, so we can kind of help each other in that sort of sense. But I don't think it's been too hard. I feel like I've settled in pretty well, and I can't wait to carry on. I'll have to say Aidan O'Neill. We live in the same apartment block together. We have quite a lot of hobbies that are the same. We both played golf a lot in the summer until the weather started turning a bit bad. But there's loads in the team. I feel like we've got a really tight bunch of players where everybody gets on with each other, and we all do things outside of football as well. It's not like we're just players that play football together and go home separately. We do a lot of things outside of football too, so yeah, it's really enjoyable. I feel like we talk about different things when we're outside of football, because football is a constant whenever we come into training, and then we finish training and maybe we're having food together and we talk about football, and then so as soon as we leave football and we go do things together, we try not to speak so much about football, because otherwise it would just take over your entire life, and sometimes you just need to speak about other things and get things off your chest that you want to say to people. And there's people like Zinho and leaders in the group that help with that, and we've been out for dinner together and we go bowling and stuff, so yeah, it's been good. No, I watch football every single day. I have a stick at home where it has every channel on it, and whatever game's on, I just watch whatever game there is, even if it's under 21s, first team, different leagues. I watch every football, and it's great at the moment because the Champions League's on, so we get to go home and watch the top teams play. I'd probably say I either want Man City or Real Madrid to win. Either one of them. I love watching Real Madrid because there's so many top players for them. They have a great team, and also I worked with Carlo Ancelotti at Everton for quite a lot of time, and he was the one that brought me up to the first team, so to watch him's great, and I love that. And then City are just unbelievable. They're so good at football and they're just a joy to watch really. I think that would be a good final.
Vous regardez Standard le Talk sur Vous Sport et divertissez-vous. On passe maintenant à une autre séquence, c'est la story. Souvenez-vous, il y a quelques mois, on avait parlé du futsal, l'un des secteurs les plus importants du Standard de Liège avec Kevin, l'un de ses responsables. Eh bien, rien que pour vous ce soir, vous allez découvrir la deuxième partie de cet entretien exclusif consacré à l'équipe du futsal du Standard de Liège.
Je m'appelle Kevin Delathuy, donc responsable du SLCS Futsal et directeur sportif. À l'heure actuelle, donc, on a l'équipe A. Ensuite, en dessous, on a l'équipe U21 qui joue chaque fois avant l'équipe A le vendredi à 20h. Et on a deux équipes de jeunes, une équipe U17 et une équipe U15. On ne va pas se cacher aussi qu'à long terme, on aimerait bien encore avoir d'autres équipes de jeunes. Mais voilà, comme on a dit, chaque chose en son temps. Et aussi, je pense que le fait de pouvoir à un moment accéder à la D1 nous permettra aussi de voir un peu plus grand et de pouvoir encore un peu plus professionnaliser. Au niveau des jeunes, ici, vraiment, on est complètement dans un cadre de formation. Donc, on n'a pas une obligation de résultat. Nous, ce qu'on souhaite, c'est vraiment former un maximum nos jeunes au futsal. Et on remarque ici à Liège, contrairement je vais dire, à la région de Charleroi, où la plupart des joueurs de futsal ne jouent quasi qu'au futsal, même en jeune. Chez nous, on a justement un peu le cas contraire, où tout le monde joue au foot et joue un petit peu en futsal en complément. Et nous, ce qu'on aimerait bien, donc, c'est vraiment changer ces mentalités et n'avoir que des joueurs de futsal. Donc ici, en 15 et en 17, on n'est pas dans une obligation de résultat. On est vraiment dans de la formation, où ces enfants ont un entraînement semaine plus le match, et ils ont encore le foot en plus sur le côté. Donc vraiment, l'idée, c'est d'un moment arriver avec des catégories où ils ne pourraient ne jouer qu'au futsal. Maintenant, voilà, on sait que ça va prendre du temps de changer les mentalités, mais voilà, on y croit entre guillemets dur comme fer pour arriver à cet objectif. Au niveau des U21, ici, donc l'année passée, on a été champion. Maintenant, cette année, on a une autre vision, donc c'est-à-dire qu'on travaille avec des joueurs qui sont maximum nés en 2005. Donc on veut vraiment travailler avec des jeunes, aussi dans un cadre de formation. Donc l'idée, c'est quoi? C'est de travailler avec nos jeunes en espoir dans des durées de 2, 3, 4 ans maximum pour qu'ils soient prêts après à accéder à l'équipe première. On remarque d'année en année que le futsal prend de plus en plus de place dans le projet. Quand je vois la première année où on était à peine médiatisé et à l'heure actuelle comment on parle de nous. D'ailleurs maintenant il y a 3 pôles, il y a le standard football, le standard féminin, le standard futsal et je pense que chacun dans le club a son importance. Après c'est sûr et certain que le standard football est entre guillemets le plus important et on va dire le plus visible au niveau des supporters, des médias, des réseaux et autres. Mais on remarque en tout cas de notre côté qu'on est aussi de plus en plus mis en valeur. Et ça, c'est vraiment une grande fierté pour nous, les membres du futsal. Et ça, on remercie en tout cas le club de nous développer un maximum. L'année passée, je parle de cette demi-finale de retour de Coupe de Belgique à Herentals. C'est quand même une belle fierté pour nous d'avoir Fergal Larkin qui vient nous voir. On a pas mal de fois des joueurs qui viennent. On a les joueuses du standard féminin qui nous suivent même très souvent. Je pense qu'on revient sur le fait du côté un peu spectaculaire du futsal où, je veux dire, tout le monde aime bien de venir nous voir. On a la chance aussi d'avoir nos supporters ultra PHK qui viennent quand même souvent nous voir et qui mettent une ambiance juste incroyable. Quand ils viennent aller à un clés, s'ils sont peut-être 2000, 2005, il faut beaucoup de bruit. Nous, ils viennent à 200 avec la résonance de la salle, on les entend comme si c'était 2000, donc ça c'est vraiment incroyable. Et c'est vrai que quand ils ont commencé à venir, l'équipe première était un petit peu dans le dur à un moment, ils nous ont un petit peu plus suivis et c'est vrai que ça a démarré un petit peu de ça. Et d'ailleurs on les remercie parce qu'ils ont mis une ambiance juste incroyable et quand ils viennent, ils permettent à nos joueurs de surpasser. Et voilà, je trouve que c'est aussi la preuve que le futsal prend aussi de l'importance parce que nos supporters ne viennent pas qu'au foot ou qu'au féminin, mais ils viennent aussi au futsal. Et ça, c'est très important. On est tous unis, je veux dire, derrière un même blason. On va dire nos 3 mots, passion, fierté, ferveur. Et nos supporters arrivent à nous transcender quand ils viennent. Et ça, c'est vraiment top. Donc le tout l'un dans l'autre fait que voilà, on se développe vraiment bien. I don't know who the fuck to trust. Is she my friend or my foe? I'm a exit draw. Yeah, she give me that claim as well. I remember back when I was young. À court terme, donc cette année, comme je t'ai dit, ce serait vraiment d'accéder à la Division 1. Après, on a une série qui est très relevée et comme on aime bien dire, c'est plus facile de se maintenir en D1 que d'y monter. Maintenant, on va pas se mentir que cette année, on veut vraiment essayer de monter. Donc ça, c'est l'objectif court terme. Si c'est pas cette année, on réessayera l'an prochain. Alors je veux dire à moyen et long terme, l'idée c'est de se faire une place en D1, d'y jouer les premiers rôles. Et si je peux vraiment avoir l'objectif à long terme, dans les 3, 4, 5 prochaines années, c'est jouer la Coupe d'Europe de futsal. Comme tu le sais, RSCA Futsal a réussi à jouer le Final Four. Dans un coin de notre tête, on a envie d'aller les titiller. Ça part d'un grand respect entre les deux clubs, hein, mais on n'a pas envie qu'ils soient seuls et on a envie aussi d'être là pour un petit peu les chatouiller et puis pour aussi augmenter le niveau de l'AD1 belge. Parce qu'on peut remarquer aussi un truc, c'est que le RSCA Futsal en Division 1, on va dire, ils ont beaucoup de matchs faciles. Et ça ne leur, entre guillemets, sert pas au niveau de la Coupe d'Europe. Donc je pense que si on arrive à réélever le niveau de l'AD1, ce sera vraiment très très positif pour le futsal en général. Contrairement à nos supporters, le RSCA Futsal, il n'y a aucun supporter du club d'Anderlecht qui les suive. Donc c'est vraiment des personnes, on va dire, différentes. Mais je n'ose pas douter que si un jour le Classico doit se faire en D1 ou en Coupe de Belgique, parce que ça peut très bien arriver cette année. On aurait pu les tirer d'ailleurs l'an passé. À une équipe près, on les tirait en demi-finale, donc ça il faut le savoir, ou même les retrouver en finale. Donc là, je pense qu'on aurait en tout cas des supporters du foot qui viendraient plus dans un état d'esprit, à mon avis, de se frotter à nos supporters. Donc là, il faudrait sûrement, à mon avis, réfléchir même dans un cadre de salle ou avec pas mal de sécurité pour éviter des problèmes. Mais là, je suis certain qu'on retrouverait, entre guillemets, des supporters du RSCA pour venir nous voir. Mais l'idée, c'est que vraiment le futsal doit rester un sport de fête, de convivialité et de plaisir et de partage. Ouais. Il faut savoir que donc, je joue au futsal depuis que j'ai 8 ou 9 ans. À la base, avant de venir ici au Standard, donc je m'occupais d'un club de futsal en division 1 nationale, mais à la Ligue, qui s'appelait l'IPANU. Et le jour où Ingrid m'a appelé, pour moi c'était une évidence de rejoindre le projet. Il faut savoir que j'ai joué ici en jeune pendant des années, dans la catégorie de Régis Goreux, de Kevin Miralas, de Sébastien Pocognoli, et j'en passe encore d'autres. Donc pour moi, c'est vraiment une énorme fierté de pouvoir représenter le club que j'aime, le club que je supporte, et de développer le projet du futsal. Donc pour moi, je suis extrêmement fier d'être là. Mais ça, je remercierai jamais assez Ingrid de m'avoir contacté pour pouvoir me permettre, entre guillemets, de réaliser un de mes rêves, parce que le futsal a pour moi toujours été mon sport préféré vis-à-vis du foot. Ouais.
On passe maintenant à une séquence que vous connaissez bien, amis supporters, c'est Paroles de supporters. À chaque match à domicile, notre journaliste Lucas Caffarelli part à votre rencontre, vous pose quelques questions sur le Standard de Liège. D'ailleurs, voici vos réponses.
Moi, personnellement, c'est il y a 2 semaines contre Anderlecht. C'était un match mémorable. Quand on perd 0-2 et qu'on gagne 3-2, franchement l'ambiance elle était top en plus, donc c'est mon meilleur souvenir.
Le plus beau souvenir, c'est le but de Sinan Bolot contre la Z. Dernier but à la dernière minute sur le corner.
Le match en Europa League contre Arsenal, on mène 2-0 et on se refait remonter 2-2 je crois. En Europa League c'était une chouette ambiance.
Quand le Standard a éliminé le Tirol-Asbruck au pénalty.
Mon plus beau souvenir ici, c'est déjà les bons moments à passer avec toutes les personnes avec qui je vais voir les matchs, donc mes amis en général, ma famille.
Moi je pense que c'était le 3-0 la saison passée contre Bruges. J'étais au stade et l'ambiance elle était folle.
Tous ces moments passés ici au stade, des victoires magnifiques, aussi bien dans les meilleurs moments du football que dans les pires. C'est vraiment tout en général, c'est l'ambiance générale de ce que c'est qui est magnifique.
Le match de Coupe d'Europe avec la tête de Bolat.
C'était contre
la Z Alkmaar, je crois.
Et ça vous a procuré quoi ce match?
C'était magnifique. Hein. Quand il y a la qualification, c'était génial. Quoi.
Je dirais Standard Liverpool. Hein. Il n'y a rien à dire, c'était le match référence pour le Standard. La génération Witsal Fellaini, c'était le top.
Je pense le 3-0 l'année passée contre Bruges. J'étais dans la T3, donc c'était bien sûr, c'était chouette.
Et comme je le dis dans chaque émission, si vous voulez être dans Paroles de supporters, n'hésitez pas à nous laisser des messages à l'adresse rsl@letalk.be. Laissez-nous des messages en vidéo, par mail, si vous voulez donner votre avis sur le Standard de Liège ou tout simplement sur l'émission. On revient sur Rouge du soir. Notre invité, Isaac Price, c'est la deuxième partie de l'interview.
We had a tough start to the season, especially when I first come and we had a lot of new players. It was hard adapting to each other's style of play, but we've brought some players in and we've won quite a lot of big games as well. So it's great to play, and especially when you get a home game, it feels like you've got a 12th man with you with the crowd. And even when things aren't going well, like against Anderlecht, we was 2-0 down, and the fans stay with you, and it pays off because we end up winning 3-2. So yeah, it's good. It's the best atmosphere I've ever played in front of. Probably they're just so passionate, the fans, they want to see their team do well, and it feels like they're with you whenever you're playing, so it gives you an extra bit of confidence for when you are playing. You know that they're behind you, And I think teams fear coming here because of the fans as well. It's a difficult environment to play under for teams that come here and play, and it favours us. Probably my best skills is athleticism, getting up and down the pitch. I feel like I can contribute to goals, but that's also something I think I need to work on as well. I want to score more goals, get more assists, contribute in that sort of area. And recently I've been playing in different position, right wing back, so I need to get better at 1v1 defending and learning that side of the game. But it helps when I've got the back three behind us. We've got so many good centre backs, and our goalkeeper, for me personally, the best goalkeeper in the league. He's been outstanding for us all season. So when you know you have someone like that behind you, it gives you a lot of confidence. Yeah, I think I was in a little bit of disbelief when it first went in, because once Wilfred had set it and I hit it, I had a blocked view so I couldn't see it, and then when it hit the back of the net, I think just excitement went through me. And I just went straight over to the corner flag where everybody was warming up, and even the manager ended up running down, and we was all celebrating together. So yeah, the feeling of that, I don't think anything can really compare to it. It was a goal that I'll never forget. It was my first goal for Standard, and hopefully there'll be many more. But just the excitement that brought it to the fans, and I knew how big of a goal it was for us to win that game and build confidence on that. Yeah, so I don't really know how to describe. Probably just excitement and disbelief. I think that's probably something that's come from my dad recently. Maybe the old me as a player would have hesitated, took a touch, maybe played out wide, but I think sometimes in football you just got to get your head down and hit it as hard as you can, and that's what I kind of tried to do. And luckily it went in the back of the net and we won the game. I don't really have too many superstitions before a game. I kind of have a routine that I do. Well, me and Aidan, we both come into the dressing room, and then we'll go out and look at the pitch, and we'll sit on the dugout for a bit and just like talk just about anything really, just try and relax and stay composed. And recently for the home games, me, Kanak, Aidan and Kevin, the fitness coach, we go into, there's a little room just outside where there's AstroTurf, and we play two-touch, so it just gets you relaxed for a game. And then especially when we play two-touch, it gives you a feel for the ball, and before you go out to warm up, you're already feeling good. So yeah, we do that. I feel like I'm sort of a player that's just more relaxed, and I'm probably more excited than anything just to go out and play, especially when you're playing here and with the fans in front of you. I don't think I've ever really been stressed, just more excited and can't wait to get out there and for the game to start really. I'm relaxed for probably the most part of when we arrive to the stadium until maybe 10 minutes before we go to warm up, and then I kind of just sit on my own and try and think about what I'm going to do in the game. But all of it's pretty relaxed. I don't really try and stress too much about how I'm going to play, and just try and play with freedom. And yeah, I listen to all sorts of music. I don't really have a genre that I specifically listen to. I'm sort of someone that doesn't mind listening to every sort of music, but we have the speaker in the change room before the game, so Musa Gineppo puts his songs on. Sometimes they're not very good, but I listen to them anyway. Before a game, I'm not the loudest. I concentrate on myself a lot. There's a lot of players in the change room that are loud and they speak a lot, like Musa, he speaks all the time. Zinho speaks a lot, which helps because you need players in a team that are trying to motivate you before a game. But for me at the moment, I'm probably the player that just sits there, listens, relaxes, and then goes out to play. Once I get into the tunnel, I kind of just want the game to start. Then I get the walkout done fast, and then get onto the pitch and get playing. I don't like waiting around too long and stuff. Obviously, sometimes here with the fans and the flares, and sometimes you can't see. The last game we had to stop for a while, but I like to just get out on the pitch and then start playing. As soon as you start playing, you feel comfortable. It was crazy. That's probably the best word to describe it. As soon as we walked out, you just seen all the flares and banners and stuff. So yeah, it was crazy, but it's good obviously that it shows how much they care about the club, and it's great to see that sort of stuff. But unfortunately we had to wait an extra 10 minutes to get the game started, but no, it's good. It gives you that extra bit of energy. You just want to get the game started, and yeah, it gives you energy as soon as the game starts. I feel like especially the last game, everybody was on the front foot and we started the game really well. We had a few chances early on in the game, probably because of the fans. So yeah, I think I speak a lot more on the pitch than I do in here, but I think that's a key part to everybody that plays, because communication's a massive part of the game, and Sometimes it's hard here because you can't hear too well, or you're shouting but you don't feel like you're saying anything because it's so loud. But even just hand signals and stuff is really important in the game, just to let people know, let your teammates know where you're going and where you want them to go. And especially in my new role, right wing back, whoever's playing in front of me, we have to communicate if I'm going to press, if they're going to press, whether I need them to stay or cover me. So yeah, communication on the pitch is massive. On the pitch, I'm very focused and I'm concentrated on how I'm playing or how we're playing as a team, and I want to win the game. And as soon as I come off the pitch, I'm just a happy sort of person where just want to have fun with my friends and stuff. My heart was definitely racing. The run felt like it was a really long run as well to the corner flag, but as soon as I seen everyone running down the touchline and all my teammates coming, that's kind of what I wanted, us all to celebrate together, and it was good for us all to be in the corner and celebrate. And then as soon as we go back, it's then concentration again. We needed to see the game out and get the victory, and we did. We come in here and we celebrate a little. Musa puts his songs on and everybody's dancing. He makes everybody dance. Even the coaching staff, he makes them dance. So yeah, that was good. But as soon as we finished with that, I called my mum and dad, and they was really proud. So it was good to hear from them. As soon as the game's finished, I kind of try and switch off from it, and then I'll watch back the game and we'll do an analysis at the training ground and stuff. So once I leave and I'm driving home, I try to just like disconnect from the game. But if I have people coming to watch, or me and Aidan are driving home together, sometimes we speak about the game and what we thought we could have done better, or what we thought we did well as well. So yeah, I want to win things here. I come here, I'm a young player, I'm very ambitious. I want to do the best, and I want us to get into Europe and compete in Europe for next season. I feel like we've definitely got a squad that's capable of it. We've got quite a lot of players that are on loan as well, so we don't know how that's going to change the squad, but I want to finish in the top 6 and compete for Europe for next season. As a team, we've definitely got the quality to finish top 6. It's just about, especially from now to Christmas, we've got quite a lot of tough games. We've got Club Brugge away and then Anderlecht away, so they're going to be tough games. But these are games that you play football for. When you grow up, you want to play in big games against big teams, and this is what I'll be for the next week. I feel like at the moment I need to try and secure my place in the team. Sometimes I've been in, I've been out, but just consistency and the way I'm playing, and I just want to keep developing and get better and contribute to the team. A main goal is probably score more goals, a little bit like Club Brugge, because there is no feeling like it in football. So yeah, I feel like with the way the stadium's built as well, the crowd's right on top here, so you hear little things that people say and you hear the screams and all the noises really. I love playing here when it's nighttime games. I feel like there's just something different about the game when you play at night and it's dark and the floodlights are on, and yeah, just something about that I really enjoy. But like I say, the fans have been unbelievable since the day I got here. Every game they come in numbers and they're excellent, and even when we play away from home, we always get a good amount of fans that come and travel with us. So yeah, it's really good to see that they're passionate and they want us to do well as well. It's a top stadium. I would compare it to Goodison Park, but it's a little bit different the way it's built, but the way the fans are is pretty much the same. It's better than Goodison, but this bit here, they just need to cover around here and here, and we'll get more fans and it'll be great. Top player, Amadou, I learned a lot off when he joined Everton. As soon as he come in, you could tell the qualities he had, and he's only getting better now. You can see him for Belgium playing. I think he's vice captain for Belgium as well. So he's a top player. He's got everything. He's big. He's powerful. He's great technically, and yeah, I think he'll go on to do very good things. Very good singer. He posted a lot on Instagram about him singing and stuff, but that's the sort of guy he is. He likes to show his personality. He's a very nice, friendly person. Yeah, and I've only got good things to say about him really. He was really good with me when I was at Everton, and I spoke about this move to him before I left, and he thought it was a great decision and that I would only develop here. So yeah, it's good. I think he's got the attributes to be a top player. Even he could play in many leagues, but I think yeah, if he stays in the Premier League, he can win a lot with like teams that he plays for. Maybe he stays at Everton for a little bit, or he might go somewhere else, but I think he'll do very well. This feeling was similar to the Club Brugge one. This was a home game. That was my first goal Windsor Park for Northern Ireland, so I don't. It's a surreal moment for me because the fans there are excellent as well. And as soon as the ball went in the back of the net, the player that passed it to me, Shay Charles, I've known him since I was little as well, and we've played together for Northern Ireland from under 16, 17, right up until the first team. And for him to pass it to me and then me score, just us celebrating together was great. It's more significant probably because it's your country, and we was playing against Denmark, a top team that finished top in our group, and they're going to play in the Euros, and I expect that they'll probably do really well in the Euros as well. They have quite a few players that play in the Belgium League too. Scored against Schmeichel, so hopefully I can do that again next week. I made my debut when I was 19 for my country, so it was a massive achievement for me, and it shown a lot of faith for him to me to put me in a team that maybe we weren't doing so well as well. So he probably took a little bit of risk and thought, why not? And hopefully it pays out in the long run. But yeah, the manager at Northern Ireland, Mike O'Neill, very grateful for him. He's pushed me and he's made me a better player as well. He's been a key part since I've come here. He spoke to me since day one. We kind of speak regularly about a plan of what's going to happen for me. Obviously the past few months maybe haven't been that easy because I've not played as much game time as I like, but there's a big group of players here with a lot of talent, and there'll be a lot of players that aren't happy that they're not playing, but there's only 11 players that can play every week. But yeah, he's been great for me. We've spoke a lot, and I just want to carry on working, and hopefully we can win things together. We've got a close group, and he's a great manager. He's shown already with games that we've won that he's capable of being a top manager. So yeah, hopefully we can just carry on and carry on winning. He's give chances to a lot of players, and he's not afraid to put different players in and change a team a lot, so that's good, and it always gives you confidence when you're going on the pitch, when you know you've got a manager like that, and even if you're on the bench, you think you've got a good chance of coming on as well. So yeah, it's a tough choice. I think the World Cup's probably a bigger trophy. It's for me probably the biggest trophy in the world, but I think winning the Champions League, just something about it, something that World Cups every 4 years, Champions Leagues every year, and I think if I won the Champions League, it would just be probably the best moment of my life. But World Cup, I don't think you can really compare. It's too big of a trophy, and especially playing for Northern Ireland, it's always difficult even just to qualify for these sort of major tournaments. So just getting to a World Cup would be massive for Northern Ireland. But Champions League, yeah, I'd love to win that. Yeah, definitely. We've got a lot of young players coming through. We've got players that I've played with since I was young, and they're very good players playing in different leagues around Europe. So I think we've definitely got a chance for the upcoming tournaments to qualify for major tournaments like this. And the Euros is going to be in Northern Ireland as well, so that could give us a little bit of a boost. That is a very, very tough question. I'm gonna have to say, playing the Champions League with Standard de Liège. I feel like we've definitely got the qualities at the moment to push on to that sort of stuff, and we're always thriving to get there, and it's probably closer than playing in the World Cup for Northern Ireland. I could probably get there playing for Standard in the Champions League. Playing in the World Cup would be huge for the country. The last tournament they got to was Euros 2016, and that was in France, and you could see that the fans at Northern Ireland, they travel everywhere as well. They're similar to the fans here. So if we got to a World Cup, I'm sure we'd have a big support behind us, like we would here if we got in the Champions League. So yeah, I think I'd love to play against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. I think that would be fantastic. The stadium, just the size of the club really. I'd love to play there. And then I'm gonna have to say England. Northern Ireland versus England in the World Cup it'd be a great game for me. We're getting a new stadium at Northern Ireland now, so I don't know where it would be played, but I'd love to play in Northern Ireland against England, and yeah, that would be great for my family and me. Yeah, Belgium, if I play against Belgium, maybe I get to play against Arno and Zinho, so that would be fun. but probably England because it's where I live for most of my life.
Voilà, c'est la fin de cette émission Standard le Talk spécial Isaac Price. J'espère que vous avez aimé découvrir le joueur nord-irlandais du Standard de Liège. Si c'est le cas, n'hésitez pas à nous laisser des messages. On a envie d'avoir votre avis sur l'émission à l'adresse, vous la connaissez, rsl@letalk.be. Je vous donne rendez-vous la semaine prochaine pour la dernière de l'année 2023 avec pas n'importe quel joueur, l'un des plus talentueux joueurs de l'équipe du Standard de Liège, c'est Luca Noubi. À la semaine prochaine. Ciao, ciao.